couple of minutes early, but we'll go ahead and give everybody a few minutes. Good to see you, Loretta. Magic. Oh, how's everybody doing tonight? Everything coming through 5x5? Afternoon, Southern Prepper 3. How's it going? Well, like I said, we're a few minutes early, so give everybody a couple more minutes. I've been doing pretty good. Wrist is about to heal up, just keeping a little tape on there for a little extra support. But other than that, doing pretty good. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully, I won't piss off too many people tonight. Uh, well, first thing off, started off with a little short today. Heard Amazon's going broke. Well, since I work for the people that have the contract that delivers 95% of Amazon, and I delivered right at $10,000 worth of product myself today. It's hard for me to believe Amazon's really going broke. I mean, I understand they got payroll, product investment, all that crap, right? But even then, I mean, I'm one out of a million carriers that's delivering that amount of product every day. But Amazon's going broke, right? Hard for me to swallow. But the main topic, which I'm going to kind of bounce off what I had planned for the last live, everybody needs to do their own homework. I apologize for that too, by the way. Some personal stuff come up I had to take care of. But, we've all been hearing about this nuclear, right? Especially right now, been hearing a whole lot about a dirty bomb in Ukraine. Russia's blaming Ukraine, Ukraine blaming Russia, blah, blah, blah. Either way, everybody's panicking over nuclear, right? Well, most of the advice that you can get online is coming from my least favorite place, the CDC. How many of you guys out there, just put a 1 in chat, trust anything you hear from the CDC? Uh-uh. Keep in mind now, these are the same folks that voted unanimously that your children have to have the jab before they can go back to school next year, right? These are the same people that are pushing the jab and giving all this bullcrap about the pandemic, right? Right. These are the same people that's controlled by the people that are worried about controlling our panic level instead of helping prepare for a nuclear event, right? So they expect you to believe that a piece of duct tape and plastic will keep you safe from radiation. Wrong. I'll give you 2 words: Chernobyl and Wikipedia. They'll tell you all you need to know. Running downstairs into your basement, hiding behind a piece of plastic and duct tape, you're still going to get hit with radiation. It'll save you from the fallout. Ain't going to stop the radiation. There's 2 things on this planet And that's the big debate right now. Which one is better? That will actually shield you from radiation. Copper and lead. So unless you've got a lead box or a copper box, you're still going to get hit with radiation. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I know. We all got our miracle pill, right? Potassium iodide, right? That protects your thyroid only. Well, Magic, you got to be like 6 foot of earth. Whose basement's got 6 foot of earth over top of it? Most of them's got a wood floor on the top. So you're still getting hit from above. Even if you have a full bunker, unless you have the Swiss BNR filter, if you've got a pipe going outside, you're still breathing radiated air. Then this whole, 7x7, it gets weaker. It does, to an extent. But it ain't hardly as fast as they want you to believe. Anybody tell me when Chernobyl went off? 1986. Is it still safe to live in Chernobyl? You can take a tour if you wear rad tag. Can you stay more than 2 or 3 days? Can you drink anything? Can you eat anything that grows there? No, because the radiation is still there. It can still kill you after 34 years. Oh yeah, that's another point, Magic. That was just a little meltdown. That wasn't no kiloton, 5 kiloton nuke like we're talking about being exposed to now. And it's still saturated everything, and it's still there 36 years later. During my research, I found out that there are people still living around that area, less than 100. All have been diagnosed with at least one, if not multiple, forms of cancer. And after they pass, they will no longer be permitted anyone to live in that area. Ain't that cool? But the CDC wants you to believe you just run down your basement, hang up a little piece of plastic, you'll be okay. Take your little pill that protects your thyroid, nothing else. You'll be okay. No. 2 things you need to buy, people. A rad tag for every member in your mag, and a Geiger counter, if not 2, depending on the size of your mag. That will tell you where the radiation is. The rad tag will tell you how long. Well, that's true too, Mad Dog. But like I was saying, the rad tag will tell you how long you can be exposed before you reach a lethal limit. And the Geiger counter will guide you out of the area. Because it is odorless, moves roughly the speed of light, and up to, 5 miles away, you can get 3rd-degree burns if you're exposed to the blast. So the whole point of all that is, boys and girls, do your own homework. There's other sources out there besides the CDC. Like I said, the people that's just meant to control the panic level. And they come out of the government's mouth, boys and girls. They're just they're going to control the panic instead of prepare for the event. They're leaving us out to dry, unlike other countries with less money than the good old US of A. Russia's turning garages into bunkers, which is better than nothing. I mean, you got plenty of concrete there. That'll help. You're looking for dense, anything with density to it, mass, something that it can't penetrate through. Really, Mad Dog, that's wicked. But yeah, boys and girls, like I said, another note about the miracle pill, right? The potassium iodide. For it to be completely effective, you need to start taking it 24 hours before you're exposed and no later than 4 hours after you're exposed. But the longer you wait, the less effective it is. But it's still your miracle pill. That's all you need in a nuclear event, right? Once again, do your own homework. You'll be surprised what you can find on Google, Wikipedia, or good old-fashioned encyclopedia. There's way better places to find out what you need to know. All right. See you in a minute there, Magic. Well, thank you for your service, Mad Dog. That's quite a pull. 22 years. But, yeah, it's that simple. And the thing about the potassium iodide, it's not good for you neither, right? Nobody's saying nothing about that. If you take it too long, you can start having severe reactions to it. Gum tenderness, teeth hurting, sores on the skin. If you continue taking it after that point, you're talking liver damage, kidney damage, whole sorts of internal clusterfuck, right? Nobody said nothing about that. Just take your pill. You'll be fine. Wrong. But like I said, 90% of this information, that's right, Mad Dog, it sure will. So that, the safety measure can be almost as harmful, afternoon, Farmer Son, as the alternative. I never bought the first pill, Southern Prepper 3. I started looking into it. Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I live in the backyard of Oak Ridge, right? The Oak Ridge nuclear facility is just over Jellicoe Mountain from where I live, which I do have the mountain range to give a natural barrier and some of the weather patterns. Look into that. That is one topic you need to pay attention to. Because anything the fallout does land on, people's telling you right on that. Where the fallout goes, the radiation will go. Weather will carry the radiation as far as before it peters out. You know what I mean? It'll go as far as it can. I'm sorry, Mad Dog. After some of the stuff I read, I'll jerk my Geiger counter out and hit the road. For one, I don't have a basement. And most mobile homes will not protect you from that source of radiation. Which I'd love to have a bunch of copper sheeting right now. Yeah, I'd make me a safe room. Since that is one of the best materials that they're debating, which the other one, like I said, is lead, but lead exposure is not good for the human body either, right? But you can handle it a lot better than you can radiation sickness, uh, which, from what I understand, is some nasty, nasty business. Yeah, guys, be sure drop all the links you want to drop tonight. Get everybody's channel out there. uh, like I said, yeah, I've heard that the pectin, but you got to have a lot of it. I mean, you're gonna have to eat several pounds of apples a day to build up that amount, which better than the alternative. Uh, well, that's fine, Southern Purple 3. Yeah, take us to the store, buy something good. I'll take a case of Bud Light in a bottle. But yeah, boys and girls, just like I said, don't believe everything you hear and do your own homework. You'll be surprised the stuff that's readily available. Most of this information, I ain't gonna lie to you. I hollered at my phone, and while I was driving around at work, I was reading the information, right? Most of it comes from Wikipedia, some come from Google. Then I did dig out an old encyclopedia, which it didn't have. Yeah, Mad Dog. I've heard about the Yellowstone deal, but right now I say we got likelier odds of a nuclear event, especially with. Okay, I'll ask your guys' opinion on this. You got Russia, right? Calling everybody. Hey man, there's something dirty going on over here, but it ain't us. I'm letting you know ahead of time, it ain't us. Their Minister of Defense has been doing that for the last 2 days. But everybody's like, no, it's Russia. It's Russia. What's your guys' opinion? Is it just a cover up so they can do what they want to do? Or are they actually scared of what the U.S. will do? My bet's on the latter part. Loretta says cover up. Okay. Thanks, former son. Yeah, please, folks, if you don't mind, hit that thumb, which we got 10 thumbs and 11 people watching, so just about everybody's hit that thumb. Appreciate it, guys. Actually, Watchmen, from what I'm understanding, the Dark Shadows are of the British Brotherhood, right? The MI8 fellers, the whole James Bond buddies. Or that's the word on the bridge. So, but I wasn't there, so I can't verify. But yeah, there's a lot of shadowy shit been going on, that's for sure. It's awful funny. They knew exactly where to drop 4,700 of the Army's 101 Screaming Eagles division. They just picked a spot randomly, right? Our guys been over there since it kicked off. Started off with the CIA spooks, then Spec Ops. Now we got a whole combat team over there. 4,700 individuals that, in my opinion, really don't need to be there. A lot of boys and girls are putting themselves in harm's way for Taterhead's bullshit. Yeah, Richmond, Virginia. I've been through there. It's not a bad place. A little close for Langley for me, but Yeah, that's what I said during Mad Dog. We got a whole combat team over there ready to rock and roll, and they ain't playing. I mean, they said it plain faced on CBS to the world. We're here to kick ass and take names. Right? Basically, I mean, that wasn't word for word. Uh, yeah, Doris, to an extent, yeah, but I believe it's starting to get a little out of hand. Uh, they're starting to deviate from the plan just a little bit. But of course, every good plan will screw up somewhere along the way. It's Murphy's Law, right? Uh, yeah, I got a nephew in the Corps, and he's saying right now everything's so tight you couldn't pull a piece of dental floss till their ass cracked. So things are tense. You know, you got a Marine saying stuff like that. Stuff's getting pretty tight. Oh, that wouldn't surprise me, Loretta. Uh, like I said in a couple of lives back, our country's been drug dealing since Vietnam, right? Probably before that. That's just as far back as I've dug. Uh, I believe I even mentioned in that live stream. Remember the movie Air America with Mel Gibson and Robert Downey Jr.? Yeah, there's a little more truth to that movie than what people believe. Oh, yeah, we knew Biden wanted this war. He's been pushing it, paying for it every step of the way. Even back before it started, Putin said, no, we're just doing an exercise. We're not going in. We don't want a war. Well, I'd like to know what all the explosions have covered up, right? You know, maybe a few labs, maybe some other shady shit that's been going on over there that is illegal over here, like maybe some gain of function experimentation. Probably shouldn't have said that, but oh well. Uh, uh, control, yeah, farmer son to a point. I'll agree with you there. Definitely the money. That's all a politician cares about is money. But as long as we just stay out of their way, pretty much they don't give two rats ass about us, right? They proved that with the whole bunker theory. You know, even Russia, as broke as they are supplying public bunkers. If they have to convert a garage or whatever, you know, they're supplying some kind of shelter for their people. Good old US of A is, yeah, as long as we can keep them calm, we'll let the radiation take care of the rest. And that's their mentality. We're expendable. Not in my book, but that's the way the government looks at it. Useless eaters. They seem to forget we pay their payroll, right? Well, it's doable, Magic. You know, even if you had set a sump pump or something like that, you can still rig that up to a solar system. And if your batteries are inside the bunker, they should be protected from the EMP, right? Uh, well, they're saying anything with mass concrete, get to the inner layer as deep as you can get. So, like most stadiums have a underground with all the utilities, you know, kind of like a basement, but it's for utilitarian purpose. If you get down in there, you should be okay. Yeah. Well, farmer son, you hit the nail on the head. See, they have a continuity, a government plan. They don't have a continuity of the people, right? As long as the president, vice president, speaker of the house, you know, all them. I mean, there's a list. It covers all the way down, right down to even probably your local senator. If it goes that far, he has a spot on the chain that he could become president. Oh no, yeah, no, definitely don't go to that stadium, Watchman. I seen that stadium. It was disgusting. Not what was just left behind, but what happened while it was there. Uh, Maybe it is a good thing. They're trying to control the panic and keep a lot of the mass wool pulled over their eyes so they don't have a bunch of Katrina screw ups running around, right? Exactly, farmer son, heirs to the throne. If this one kicks off, the next one just steps up. Uh, and like I said, it you can look it up online. It goes all the way down. I mean, each state is a little higher on the chain than another state, and so on and so forth. But it actually gives you the names and what position they hold in government and what it would take for them to be the next president, how many people above them would have to perish. Even an off the wall. But yeah, like I was saying, folks, definitely do your own homework. Uh, it's hard for me to trust the CDC about anything at this point. After the shit that they pulled, and I don't remember exactly which one's first in order, Mad Dog, but that sounds pretty close. I'd actually have to look it up, but like I said, the information is readily available, and there's better sources than the CDC. Uh, but like I said, so far, I've heard a couple of channels talk about the actual radiation and the different levels of sickness and R's, acute radiation syndrome. That's pretty nasty shit from what I understand. Severe cases, I mean, you can bleed profusely from places you're not supposed to bleed from. Uh, that's good, Loretta. But you gotta still have a little faith in some people. I mean, don't give them a chance to cut your throat, but uh, you got to work on trust, and sometimes you got to extend your hand first. I've heard the term perfect storm. The vortex, that's a nice spin on it, but I've heard the term perfect storm several times in the last 3 or 4 days. And with everything adding up to where it is now, it's very possible we could have a very exciting November. And I ain't talking about the election. Well, that's the way most of it is around here, Mad Dog. Family will screw you quicker. Uh, but it's hard. I understand where people are coming from on the trust issue. I trust very few people. Nobody in my local area, unless they're subscribed to my channel, even though I prep. Right down to my mother, unless she knows about my channel, don't know I prep. I know that's kind of a harsh way to be, but in my general locale, if they know you got stuff piled up, your stuff will walk away. Yeah, uh, I heard that too, Watchman. If that's the case, more than likely things are going to get real sketchy real quick. Uh, you know, everything runs on diesel. Uh, Pardon me. Uh, your trains, planes, automobiles, hell, everything runs on diesel. So without diesel, might not have to worry about all this nuclear jazz, right? Well, a lot of us get that, Mad Dog. The family thinks they're just going to come in and, after you've done all the work, they're just going to kick back and be comfortable. Uh, a lot of people are going to have to make some hard decisions. And if you've got only enough supplies, let's see, when was the fertilizer plant fire, Watchman? I ain't heard about that yet. Okay, last night. I'll have to look into that. It's awful funny how everything important's starting to burn, ain't it? Food processing plants, fertilizer plants, uh, another bomb found on a boat in the Ohio River. Just crazy crap. Almost like sleeper cells are starting to wake up, right? You know, if they can track all these wonderful transmissions, why can't they track the phone calls to these sleeper cells and find out what they're planning before they do it? Oh, wait a minute. They don't care. They just want to keep people calm. And if people knew that we'd already been infiltrated, they wouldn't be that calm, would they? Well, I believe Mad Dog, yeah, that was my initial plan, me, wife, and the kids. But along the way, I picked up a few stragglers already, and it ain't even kicked off yet. Uh, there's strength in numbers. I'm not a real big fan of the supernatural theory. Uh, I kind of keep my boots on the ground. Don't get me wrong, I believe in the Almighty, but I don't believe He's hardly doing this to us. Uh, like I said, there's definitely strength in numbers because hey, I can do a lot of stuff, right? I can do electrical, mechanical. I was a residential carpenter for years. I've done some other contract work I can't really get into that supplied a lot of my training. Training. Uh, but there's other skills like medical. I'm weak on. Don't get me wrong. Uh, well, I do too, farmer son, but it's not hard, right? If I don't wear my hat, I'd blind y'all. But well, it's easy to become that way, Magic. If you're not real careful, especially when you start talking to people and they look at you like, dude, what's wrong with you? You kind of pull back because, yeah, we know what's going on, but they're so far in fairy tale world. When we spit the truth at them, they think we're crazy, right? So it's easy to pull back. But thanks to this platform and a couple of others, we've met other people like minded, right? You might have to travel a little ways, or they might have to come to you, vice versa, whatever. you know. But you can still build a mag like that. Test the waters before you jump in, right? That's a good thing, Loretta. That's true, Magic. That's what I was kind of touching around on there a little bit, but uh, boy, I totally got off topic, you know. But get back on track here. If you ain't got a Geiger counter or rad tag, uh, some of the symptoms to look out for, I actually made notes. Uh, let's see. It starts off simple with loss of appetite, fatigue, fever, nausea, throwing up, diarrhea. The longer you stay or prolong exposure, you can get into seizures and even coma, right down to skin damage. So if you're in an area you don't hear any life in the background, you know, no birds chirping, dogs barking, anything like, you know, anything that you should normally hear, it's just dead quiet, and you start feeling these symptoms, uh, and you know that there's been a nuclear event, you might be in a radioactive area. It's time to pull back, do a 90-degree, you know, whichever the way the wind's coming, get out of it. Uh, and some more notes here. Third degree burns at 5 miles away, second degree burns at 6 miles away, first degree burns at 7 miles away from a 1 kiloton nuke, right? And any in that distance, if you're looking directly at the blast, you can be blinded, and depends on the distance, you can be permanently blinded. It will actually burn the retinas out of your eye. Uh, but yeah, like I said, that was just some of the things I've been looking into. Like I said, I live right in the backyard of the Oak Ridge nuclear facility where, unfortunately, it all started years ago. So then, of course, on the other side of me, I got the Bluegrass Depot. All right. Anybody knows what they keep there? Any bites? Uh, Mustard gas, sarin gas, Agent Orange, all the nasty stuff that, you know, make you puke up your lungs for breakfast. Yeah, all that stuff. So, which is supposedly under an underground bunker, but and supposedly being disposed of. But yeah, yeah, I've seen some of them off the wall. Uh, you're pretty well on point. Like I said, everybody's hitting close, but they need to get more in depth on the radiation part. And like I said, the only two items, 6 foot of dirt or more, uh, dense concrete. Uh, well, people ground zero, they're toast. You know, the only thing they can do is hope everything's right with the Almighty, right? The Nimitz. Okay. Uh, but like I said, the big argument over the best protection is copper or lead. And depending on the source, one says one's better than the other, and so on, back and forth. Staying in place. I'm having a hard time swallowing that, depending on the structure. If you're in a mobile home, uh, you're not safe from the radiation. There's not enough density or mass, or even a modern balloon framed home. That's hollow walls, right? You got vinyl siding or some kind of siding, plywood, insulation, couple of 2x4s, and sheetrock. There's no dents, nothing to stop the radiation. Even if you go into the center of the house, there's not even insulation in your interior walls, right? Uh, well, yeah, you're going to have a good structure to bunker in. Other than that, I wish everybody luck. Of course, I'm no nuclear physicist or anything. This is just stuff I've looked into, and there's a lot of things that are debating what the CDC says. And like I said, right now, especially after the pandemic, and after they unanimously voted to make sure my kid is getting the jab before she goes back to school, I ain't got nothing for the CDC. And my kid will not be going back to school. Uh, like I said, do your own homework, folks. And Off the Wall's got some good stuff out there on uh, the information. I ain't saying anybody's saying anything wrong. Don't take it that way, Off the Wall. You're pretty well on point. Like I said, I want to see more about the radiation. You're hammering the fallout, right? You're smoking the fallout. You're dead on there. But a lot of people ain't touched on the silent part, the invisible killer. And I'll try with my little channel, but brother, you can reach a lot more people than I can. One's just as deadly as the other, bub. Read in on it. The fallout's what carries the radiation, and the radiation is what kills. It's not the particles, it's what the particles are made of. And like I said, you're on point with the fallout, and how to stay safe with all that. But uh, the radiation's the bad boy. The fallout just carries it, right? Well, once again, Magic, like I said, I'm still studying up on it. I've been looking in it, and there's so much information on this. Uh, my grandson could be a gray headed old man by the time he actually read all of it. Uh, Look at Chernobyl, Off the Wall. The 100 or less people that's still there have been diagnosed with multiple forms of cancer. It's still in the ground. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can take tours of Chernobyl, but you can't stay because the radiation will get you. And the fallout's done gone, but the radiation is still there. And that wasn't even a portion of the nuclear power that, we're talking with a tactical nuke or a strategic nuke or whatever. Uh, like I said, you still have to wear a rad tag even on a tour, though, right? Once you hit your limit, they ship your ass out of the area. The human body can only take so much. Yeah, yeah, Magic It. Yeah, that was a tinker toy compared to the stuff they got today. But the whole uh, you'll be safe in 7 days, it's less dangerous. I give it that. The levels aren't as high, but you won't be able to stay there. If your area is exposed to the radiation, you will have to leave or be bombarded with radiation the rest of your short life. Uh, and that's on everything I've read up on Hiroshima, Nagasaki, uh, more Chernobyl than anything, because it was actually a little stronger from what I'm understanding radiation on it. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, I'm still, but like I'm saying, everybody do your research for yourself. And that way you know your own understanding of it. All I'm saying is I can't trust the information from the CDC. And I know there's a lot more stuff published. Oh yeah, they've been testing nukes since they first created them. But you're welcome, Loretta. Like I said, this what was that long? That would probably do you pretty good, KK. If you could find a way to block off the ends, maybe, or the entrance. I'd be a lot better than 30 inches of dirt. To me, would be better than a plywood floor over top of a basement. And in most modern homes, if you go in the basement, you might have a finished ceiling, right? That's sheetrock. Then you got your floor joists. Then you got your plywood on top. Okay. Some people might even insulate their floor, but that's not going to be as dense as 30 inches of dirt, right? So gamma rays is 10 foot. Okay, Dixie. Uh, yeah, that's what I've been telling everybody off the wall. 6 to 8 feet, of dirt. But I also mentioned that the biggest argument right now on shielding, one source will say copper, other source will say lead, back and forth. So, like I said, it's you got to do the legwork, as off the wall says, folks. You got to put some time in. Yeah, exactly, Dixie. The thicker, the better. Uh, and what was on your live stream here a while back off the wall about the older post offices, anything pre 1980s, okay, uh, which all do have a big ass safe in them, right? I'm talking 2 foot thick steel doors, just saying. But getting into the back, one of them would be hardcore. But uh, most of them pre 1980s were designed to have a fallout shelter somewhere on the property, from what I understand. Well, that's regardless, many people are going to be exposed. Uh, there's nothing built in the last 50 years that was meant to protect from anything like that. Uh, hell, they even outlawed lead paint, right? Lead based paint, which it was making people sick. Well, look at the bright side. People in Flint should be good to go. They drink enough lead, they should be safe, right? I missed that last comment. Well, I touched on that too a few minutes ago there off the wall. It's awful funny that, you know, Russia, China, all these places have public bunkers. We get told, here's your miracle pill, you'll be okay. You can get lead paint, nuclear radiation paint for roofs, windows, and doors. Not cheap. Really, that if it's just 75 a gallon, Sherwin Williams right now, just regular interior paint is running real close to that, which Sherwin Williams is a high quality paint, but I don't like doing 3 and 4 coats, right? I like that one and done. Yeah, I used to be a professional painter too. Uh, Jack of all, master of none. Uh, I'm gonna have to sit down and write a book one day about all the wonderful things I've done in my wild little life. Could be a comedy. But yeah, I didn't realize that they sold anything remotely out there that, well, even just for the kids off the wall, it just protects their thyroid. It don't protect nothing else. It overloads the thyroid and to keep shit from soaking up any of the bad radiation, and that's all it does. But the rest of the body's still getting hit with radiation. Uh, yeah, any concrete building with basement, because a concrete floor on a multiple floor building should be right at 2 foot thick to hold the weight, right? So parking garages, banks, anything, a good solid building with basement would be a lot better than what a lot of us are stuck in right now. I know if I stay here, I got a 1680 mobile home. I'm toast, which it's going to have to get real bad before it gets here due to the weather patterns and the natural barriers between me and Oak Ridge. Uh, the jet stream would have to change direction. Plus, it would have to climb up and over. Uh, how high? I think it's like 30,000. I don't know the exact elevation of Jellicoe Mountain, but it's a pretty good mountain. Nothing like out west, but yeah, it's decent. So anything coming toward me would have to come from the west. So Arizona, Arkansas, Missouri, and by the time that happens, I should have enough time to get south. hopefully. Magic on the double bagging the food. That you would have to probably ask somebody smarter than me, but they're saying like canned foods, as long as you rinse it off real good, the interior should be fine. Uh, but the thing is, you have to clean it well before you bring it into wherever you're going to prepare it. That way, you leave everything, bad outside. But yeah, Off the Wall has been advertising the Nuclear War Survival Skills book. Might be worth looking into. Like I said, this is just stuff that uh, I've looked into over the years and forgot the exact details because, like I've said, I've lived close to Oak Ridge for so long. But weather patterns play big on it. Density, structure, uh, like Off the Wall said, no rugs, your clothes, everything has to stay outside. But like I said, I just have a hard time believing that plastic and duct tape and all that, when they're saying it takes 7 to 8 feet of dirt to stop, but a 6 mil piece of plastic is going to keep you safe, right? There's contradicting stories there. I've told everybody off the wall. That's uh, yeah, it'll help keep the dust out, but it's still the radiation's still going to come into play there. It's still going to leach through because where there's fallout, there's radiation, and plastic ain't going to stop it. It'd have to be a thick bottle, Watchman. Like thicker than a Coke bottle, thick. But like I said, everybody, there's good videos out there. Off the Wall's got some good stuff. Like I said, there's just, I don't know, contradicting terms that kind of leave a lot of questions up in the air. Yeah, that's right. No conditioner when you rinse. Just use water. Uh, don't scrub your hair because when you go to it, just buries it deeper toward your scalp. All that, yeah, yeah. That's all decontamination. You're on point. Uh, all that stuff. Like I said, I ain't saying anybody's put out. You know, you've done a lot of good videos off the wall. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, there's just a lot of contradicting information, especially in the last 2 weeks. This one says that one says this. Here I am tonight saying this. You know, break down, find the time, find your own peace of mind, find the information, do the homework. It will make you feel better here and here. Right? Ooh, damn, I'm doing something right. I got a bot. Wow. Hot damn. I made you too happy, right? Get 'em. Get 'em. Well, I've heard M95s aren't sufficient off the wall. I've heard you got to double them, put something in between them like cotton. I've heard that a wet shamog would do better. If anybody don't know what that is, it's just an overgrown bandana made out of cotton. Uh, I've heard that you can go to Lowe's and get a paint respirator, which I don't believe those filters are going to hardly cut it, but would be better than an M95. But uh, like I said, there's so much information trying to flood everything right now. Do the footwork, find out, and the only one I'm saying I don't trust is the CDC. Anything that they're putting out ain't valid. Right, Dixie? And make sure it is a good NBC suit, uh, not the cheap painter suit knockoff. Uh, and you can tell quality. As soon as you pick it up, it should have some weight to it. You don't want the painter suit, a little flimsy, which, truth be told, that's probably better than just wearing a pair of jogging pants. But yeah, I was getting to that here off the wall. Layers. The more layers you have, even though it's going to be hot and miserable, the better off you'll be because that's just that much more protection. But folks, I've been on here for just a hair over an hour. It was great to see everybody. One of my longer lives yet. So, like I said, folks, the whole idea wasn't to contradict anybody tonight. It was just to get a few pointers out there to spark a little curiosity and to uh, get you thinking about what directions you need to look besides the good old CDC. So, on that note, boys and girls, stay safe. Till the next time, I'm out.